Professor David John Francis, a renowned scholar and expert on international relations, launched his latest book titled China-Sierra Leone Relations, Friendship, Cooperation, and Win-Win Diplomacy at the Chinese Embassy in Freetown. The event was attended by a distinguished audience including current and former government ministers, senior government officials, the leader of government business, members of parliament, academics, media professionals, and other notable personalities. During the launch, statements were made by Chinese Ambassador Wang Qin, Professor David John Francis, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Timothy Musa Kaba. Ambassador Wong Queen expressed his gratitude for Professor Francis' insightful analysis of the bilateral relations between China and Sierra Leone, highlighting the importance of friendship, cooperation, and win-win diplomacy in fostering strong ties between the two countries.
On July 29, 1971, Chairman Mao Zedong and President China-Sierra Leone made the historical decision establish diplomatic ties between China and Sierra Leone. Since then, no matter how the international landscape and the domestic situation of our two countries changed, China-Sierra Leone relations stayed committed to the original aspiration and maintain a strong momentum of development. There are some unchangeable things. The political trust between China and Sierra Leone in support each other's core interests and jointly safeguard international fairness and justice has never changed. The friendship between China and Sierra Leone was forged in our respective endeavor towards national independence and liberation and a more just and equitable global order. We will never forget that it was Sierra Leone and other African brothers who brought the People's Republic of China into the United Nations and have long firmly upheld the One China principle. China also firmly supports Sierra Leone in choosing development path that suits its own national conditions, safeguarding its sovereignty, security, and development interests, and playing an active role in international and regional affairs in multilateral platforms such as the United Nations and African Union. The principles of mutual respect, equality, and mutual benefit, which guided our practical cooperation towards common development, has never changed. China always believed that the common development of all countries is the real development, and no one should be left behind on the road to modernization.
Professor David John Francis, the author of the book, shared his research findings and thoughts on the historical and contemporary relationship between China and Sierra Leone. He emphasized the mutual benefit of cooperation and the potential for further collaboration in various sectors, such as infrastructural development, trade, education, and healthcare.
Excellencies, now let me outline why this book is important. First, this is the first ever academic and policy relevant publication that documents the history, the evolution, the nature, the dynamics, and complexity of China-Sierra Leone relations since the establishment of diplomatic relations on the 29th of July 1971. So this is practical cooperation output, and this is practical diplomacy. For the first time, we have a major reference book for university students, diplomats, graduates, etc., etc. Second, Sierra Leone is the second country in Africa to document and publish the history of China-Africa engagement. The first country to do so was Nigeria, when it commemorated the 50 years of its bilateral relations with China. So we are always leading, even though we follow Nigeria. Third, this book keeps record of and documents specific, clear, and verifiable evidence and data on why and how China has impacted on Sierra Leone and why and how Sierra Leone has impacted on China. So in other words, we have clearly argued in this book that this relationship is a mutually beneficial relationship and partnership, hence the subtitle, Win-Win Diplomacy. The fourth reason as to why this book is important is that the book presents China's spectacular development and modernization transformation from the war-torn, poor, underdeveloped country to a major superpower in less than 70 years. In effect, this seminar will present China's development and modernization pathway as a model that Sierra Leone and other African countries can aspire to. We are still struggling after more than 60 years of independence. We have a lot to learn from China.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Timothy Musakaba, commended Professor Francis, shedding light on the positive aspect of China-Sierra Leone's relations and for promoting a better understanding of the strategic partnership between the two countries. He emphasized the government's commitment to enhancing cooperation with China and other international partners for the benefit of the Sierra Leonean people.
China's contribution to Sierra Leone's economic development is powerful. Other speakers have spoken about very obvious and important infrastructure that China has given to our country, whether it is the National Stadium, it's the new building, building, whether it is the ongoing Fish Harbour project, whether it is the China-Sierra Leone Friendship Hospital. These are all visible and important contributions to the economic development of our country. Sierra Leone continues to partner with China in pushing for the reform of the global governance system. It is important because we live in a world where the international order is not in favor of those weakling nations of the world. And that is why, in solidarity to the vulnerabilities of the global south, China continues to stand with the member states of the global south for common prosperity.
The launch of China-Sierra Leone Relations, Friendship, Cooperation and Win-Win Diplomacy marked a significant milestone in academic exploration of international relations and diplomacy. The book is expected to contribute to a deeper understanding of the dynamics of China-Sierra Leone relationship and provide valuable insight for policymakers, scholars and practitioners in the field of international relations. Reporting for Star TV News in Freetown, I am George Elliott Sam.